Starting a business in Jacksonville sounds exciting until you hit your first legal roadblock. If you're overwhelmed by rules, worried about messing up your paperwork, or unsure which steps actually matter, this video here is for you. I will walk you through everything that you need to set up your LLC in Jacksonville. No confusion, no costly mistakes. Because one wrong move can turn your dream business into a legal headache, and most people don't find out until it's too late. So let's make sure that you avoid that. But first, let's address why Jacksonville is a great place to start your LLC. Jacksonville just passed 1 million residents, making it Florida's biggest city and one of the fastest growing metros in the US. This means more customers, a bigger talent pool, and fresh opportunities for local businesses. The city's business climate is competitive but friendly, with strengths in tech, logistics, healthcare, and finance. And Florida's lack of state income tax lets profits go further. Jacksonville's position as a major transportation hub, plus low local business taxes, make it a smart place to set up shop and grow. Now let's jump into choosing a name for your Jacksonville LLC, because getting this step right is crucial for standing out in a crowded market. But before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now I will walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels too confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way in the video, just go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. All right, so let's bring the focus back to the business name here. So Florida law says that your LLC's name has to be unique, and it must include LLC, LLC, or limited liability company at the end. No sneaky tricks like adding, the, or changing punctuation, or using abbreviations to get around the rules. You also can't use words that might make people think that you're a government agency or that you're licensed in a profession that you're not. Before settling on a name, always jump over to the Florida Division of Corporations website to make sure that it's available, which, by the way, is linked to below, along with every other resource mentioned in the video. And also, it's worth mentioning that if you found the perfect name, you don't want to do all the paperwork yet, you can reserve it for $25 for a specific period of time, and then that will allow you to get all your paperwork together and not worry about having your name taken. But having a unique, memorable name isn't just smart marketing. In Jacksonville's growing business scene, it's critical for your LLC's future success and compliance. Okay, so let's talk about how to stay compliant and protect your privacy as a Jacksonville business owner. So every Florida LLC needs a registered agent. So this is a person or a service with a physical address in Florida who's always available during business hours to, receive official documents and legal notices. Now you can be your own agent, you can use a friend or a family member with a Florida address, or hire a professional service. But keep this in mind, whoever you choose, that address that they use will go on public record, which means more junk mail and, that address, the privacy is gone. So if it's your house, your privacy is going to suffer. That's one of the reasons why so many LLC owners prefer professional registered agent services. Now, personally, my preferred provider is Northwest Registered Agent. They're known for their strong privacy protections, excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. Plus, I've used them myself. If you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39, which is lower than a lot of competitors. And get this, you can use their business address on your own public filings, keeping your address, private and cutting down on spam now. Now, if you want to check them out at any time, just go ahead and click right up here to learn more. But having a professional registered agent, it lets you focus on your business, not on all the paperwork or privacy concerns. Plus, it ensures that you never miss critical notices that could affect your LLC's good standing. Now, next, we'll cover the official step of filing your LLC paperwork with the state and what info you'll need to have ready. The Articles of Organization is what makes your Jacksonville LLC a real recognized business. You'll need to have your LLC name, your business physical address, your registered agent info, and you can include the names and addresses of the members or managers if you want in your business. But that part's optional, right? So Jacksonville owners, typically they'll file online for speed, but you can also mail in your forms if you want. And the cost is $125, which includes the state filing fee and the mandatory registered agent designation as well. And when you file, you'll choose your business's effective date, which is either right away or up to 90 days in the future. And heads up, any info that you put on your Articles of Organization, that does become public record. So double check all your entries for accuracy and privacy. And once your filing is approved, congratulations, your Jacksonville LLC is officially open for business. So next up, let's talk about creating an operating agreement, which is kind of the secret weapon for keeping your LLC running smoothly. Now, an operating agreement, it isn't required in Florida by law, but it can make your LLC run smoother and help avoid disputes, especially if you have business partners. This document outlines how the business is managed, who owns what, how profits and losses are split, and what happens if someone leaves or a disagreement pops up. Now, for Jacksonville entrepreneurs, this step helps reinforce your LLC separation from personal assets and can even make opening business bank accounts easier. If your LLC setup is straightforward, you may not even need a lawyer. There are plenty of operating agreement templates available online and even AI platforms that can help you customize one to fit your business needs. Now, for more complex arrangements, it might make sense to consult an expert. But having your operating agreement ready and signed by members is a really smart way to prove that your business is legit and avoid Florida's default rules if the state ever has to step in. Now, up next, we'll show you how to get your EIN. And this short process, it's what makes your LLC official for taxes, payroll, and banking. So once your articles of organization are filed, the next critical step is to pick up an EIN, or employer identification number, from the IRS. It's basically your business's social security number, and it's free to get. You'll need an EIN to open a business bank account in Jacksonville, to handle taxes, apply for local business licenses, or hire employees. Even if you're a single member LLC, having an EIN can help you keep your personal info private and streamline your paperwork. And applying is simple. Just head to the IRS website and you can usually get your EIN in about 15 minutes with their online form. No waiting, no hassle, no fee, nothing like that. And with your EIN in hand, you're officially ready to do business in Jacksonville. But up next here, let's make sure that you stay compliant with important Florida and local requirements. So first, every LLC in Florida has to file an annual report with the Division of Corporations every year between January 1st and May 1st. The fee is $138.75, and if you miss the deadline, you get hit with a $400 late penalty, so be sure to mark your calendar. The annual report keeps your company active and allows you to update your business info as needed. Locally, Jacksonville requires all businesses, even home-based ones, to get a local business tax receipt, formerly called an occupational license, before starting operations. Now, this isn't a tax on your income, but a fee to legally operate in the city, and it must be renewed by September 30th of every year. Now, the cost for this will vary widely, from as little as $25 for a small shop or up to $200 or more for certain professionals and larger operations. And if you operate in multiple locations or run different types of businesses under the same LLC, you'll need a separate receipt for each. And depending on your industry, you might also need specific local, state, or even federal permits or licenses. And the requirements are really unique to what you do. Just make sure to display your local business tax receipt at your business address and keep tabs on renewal dates to avoid the fines. Staying compliant really isn't tough if you track deadlines and keep good records. But next here, let's break down the actual startup and ongoing costs so you know exactly what to budget for your Jacksonville LLC. All right, so we'll begin with the startup costs. So required first year, articles of organization, that's $125. Next is optional but highly recommended. It is the registered agent service. So Northwest Registered Agent, it is $39 for the first year, which basically pays for a help with the LLC formation service. And then your registered agent service is free for the whole year, which is a pretty good deal. Then we have your local business tax receipt, which is also required. That's a $25 to $200 usually, depending on the business type and location. Then we have a name reservation. That's optional if you need it, $25 if you want to secure your name before filing. And last, we have additional permits or licenses. And this really is industry specific, but it varies, but plan for at least $0 to $150 based on business activity. So your estimated initial cost, most Jacksonville LLC owners, you can expect to pay maybe $175 up to $350 for the first year, plus any applicable permit or licensing fees specific to your business. And then we have the ongoing annual cost. So the Florida annual report, that is $138.75. We have registered agent service, Northwest Registered Agent, assuming you go with them, it's $125 per year to stay compliant. Then we have the local business tax receipt renewal, which is $25 to $200, an additional permit license renewals as well, $0 to $150. It just depends, right? But your estimated ongoing total per year, usually between $250 to about $450 with most businesses. But the exact amount depends on your business type and any extra permits as well. Now, again, to help with all this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which again, you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process here, no problem. Just drop me a comment below and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.